Alright guys, continuing on from the last video, getting right into this one, showing you how to change the LED bulbs in these switches right back here. Am I just continuing recording from where we left off in last video, or is this the next day?
We may never know.
My plan here is to do daily or maybe every other day uploads to help keep you guys entertained during social distancing and isolation. So if you guys are on board with that, give the video a thumbs up, get me some views, and I'll keep it going. Tools needed for this simple install include a 10mm socket and ratchet, a set of basic trim removal tools, a medium and smaller flathead screwdriver, and of course the LED bulbs color of your choice. I'll put a link to where I found these, the cheapest I found while searching around. All of this stuff in the description below. Now to begin with, of course, we do need to get access to all these switches so we can change out the bulbs to get our hands back there to be able to work. You can remove this thing right here and maybe get back there and you might be able to get it to work, but it's going to be a pain. So I just uploaded a video how to loosen and remove both this gray trim piece right here and the black one on top. Check out that video, linked right above. And after watching that video, you will of course be at this point right here, which is where we can get started. Now specifically today, I will be changing the traction, downhill assist, and RSCA buttons here on the bottom row for the bulbs in there. And up on the top, I'll be changing the diff locker and fog light switch. Just to give you guys a quick comparison of what the factory green halogen bulb looks like compared to the red LEDs I'll be swapping in, here's a quick night shot. Now, of course, I still have to swap two of the lights. I just wanted to show you guys a quick nighttime comparison with the new red LEDs and the factory light green LEDs you can see on the bottom two switches there on the right. Now this is something I really want to get y'all's opinion on. I did, when I was doing the top row, I wanted to do the top row first since it's sort of harder to get access to. I went ahead and changed the diff locker switch, but I unplugged the fog light switch first to get access to this because it's sort of tight back here. So once you remove this, you can access this one from the side. I noticed the fog light switch did have a bulb in there, but I can't remember for the life of me if that bulb actually ever illuminated on my Taco. If it did, I can't believe I just said Taco. I actually hate when Tacomas are referred to as Taco. Scratch that. I can't remember the last time this thing actually illuminated. So if you guys are running factory Tacomas with this switch right here, does it illuminate for you at night with that sort of light green glow? I changed mine to the red LED and it works perfectly, so I have to assume it did, but like I said, I can't remember the last time that actually worked. Now I will show you guys how to swap in the new LED bulb on one of these switches. They all follow the same exact function, feature, functionality, whatever you want to call it. First, just to give yourself room, we are going to go ahead and unplug the back of this. You should be able to just do this with your fingers. And there is the first switch unplugged from the back after that. And again, all three of these bottom switches and the top ones will follow the same procedure. There is a little clip right here. Just if you press that in with one of your fingers while pushing on the back with another finger, you'll feel it sort of slide forward. You can see it poked through right there. Do that on the top and the bottom. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. There it goes. And the entire switch will push out from the front. Go ahead and remove it like that. Now this switch in particular is one I've already swapped to the new red LED bulb, so I'm going to compare this one with the downhill assist control, which still has the old bulb in it, to show you the differences. And a quick thing to point out for the three plugs here on the bottom row, there is a black on either side and the blue in the middle. The blue is easy because obviously the back of the housing here for the middle switch is also blue, but for the two blacks, they look very similar.
That's racist.
And you might think you could get those backwards. But the one on the right towards the steering wheel for the RSCA off button actually has a couple more tines than the other ones, so don't worry, you can't plug these into the wrong spots. Okay guys, just doing this here on the floorboard with the tripod set up. Hopefully this will all show up nice on camera, but here is the traction control switch I've already done. So just to show you the orientation, when you flip it over, that is the new bulb I have already changed. That is the LED, and that is the orientation you want to go to. You see the tines, I guess, sort of running parallel to the switch face. If you plug this in and it doesn't work, you guys know the routine with LEDs. If it doesn't work the first time, the bulb is actually polarized, so there's like a positive and a negative side. So just pull it out, flip it 180 degrees, put it back in, and test it again, and it should work then. And now I'll show you how to remove the factory bulb located right there with the brown base. Again, here's the orientation with the switch face. This is very easy. Just get your smaller flathead screwdriver in there and just simply, you can twist it right there in the middle give it a little twist to loosen it up, and you can see it's loose in the socket right there. And just go ahead and carefully pry it up just a little bit. It's being stubborn on me for some reason.
All you gotta do is jiggle it. You just get it in there. Jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it.
There it goes. And once you get it out like that, obviously you can just flip the entire thing over and the bulb comes out. And here's a quick comparison with the factory. This is a green light, but it actually, I think it's just a clear bulb with like a green coating on it, like a little cap. You can feel it. It almost feels like green rubber or plastic. And here's the new red LED, hard to hold, that we'll be swapping in. Again, I'll put a link for these down in the description. If I remember correctly, these are T1 3mm LED bulbs. Very cheap. I think they're like $1.70 a piece. And now we'll go ahead and install this one. Now, even though they're the same size, these feel like these are a hair bigger actually. So when you're getting it in there, just be careful not to obviously damage the head of the LED right here. Just take your time and sort of, I guess, thread the needle right into the hole right there, just like the other one came out. If you sort of do it at an angle, it's hard to do, and sort of film, it will eventually just press right into the center hole right there. Just make sure it's not hung up on anything. There it goes. At that point, you can see it's sort of sticking out. It might still fall forward. Go ahead and press it down a little bit. And take your medium-sized flathead screwdriver, because the openings here in the middle are a little bigger than the other one, a little wider. And go ahead and twist that into place. I'm doing it clockwise there. It's sunk down a little more, you can see. Give it a final press. And again, that is the orientation you want with the tines right here and here, parallel to the front of the switch place. Now I'll plug this in and do a test real quick by turning my lights on with the key in the ignition to make sure that's oriented correctly. If it's not, I'll pull it out, rotate it 180 degrees, and put it back in. Okay, got the key in the ignition, truck in the on position, but the engine hasn't started. And I went ahead and plugged in that central switch, which I just showed you guys how to swap. Obviously just plugging it in, not in the place, just in case I had to remove it and flip that bulb 180 degrees. Go ahead and turn your lights on to the parking light slot. And I hope this shows up on camera. You can see the red glow in there. Just focus on it, I'll turn it off. And hopefully that showed up so you guys can see it. So it is working. Obviously it looks much better at night. So this switch is good. You can go ahead and unplug it at the plug right here. And I'll thread the faceplate in and get it replugged in. Hopefully I can do this one-handed, but with these tabs on the top and the bottom right there, this does just go right back in the slot. Just give it firm pressure. I'm actually just going to push the switch and push the whole thing in. It'll click into place, and push it again to release the switch, obviously. Then just plug it in from the back and you are done. That is how you switch the LED bulb on these three switches right here and the top two right here. And now let's see what all these bad boys look like illuminated at night with the new red LED bulbs. And that is the finished product. Now again, I went with red. There are different colors available. You will see if you check out the link in the description below, but nice little touch in my opinion. I dig the red look with some of the color themed, like on the steering wheel and the seats I'm currently running. Not too bright, and obviously the camera is probably not going to do it justice, but perfect amount of light for something like this, since this is just backlighting on your interior switches. And I think I'm going to save this last red LED for the A-Track button when I have to remove all this again to install the Anytime front and rear camera mod. So stay tuned for that video. Alright guys, that will do it for this video. Comment below, let me know what color you are going to go with if you decide to swap these bulbs for yourself. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next video.